Hey there all you Starship modelers, scale model addicts, Millenium Falcon group builders, one and all. Model Man here, and I have two entries for this first ever cross-forum Millenium Falcon group build. Over here on the left, this is a kit I finished about 5 years ago, and this is actually the one that got me back into modeling as an adult. I had lost track of it somewhere around being a poor college student, and I was driving by a model shop for my first job in a new city, and finally I decided to stop in. Figured if they had a Falcon, maybe I'd buy it. They did. I bought it, and I've been hooked back again ever since. And what I'll be doing on this one here is retrofitting this finished kit with some really kick-ass engine lighting. I'll be getting back to this in a week or two. It's going to be really easy. The whole thing is sealed up, and I'll show you how to break into yours and give it some really badass lighting. And over here on the left, this one is essentially my personal entry for the group build. There's about 9 videos in this. I started this about 4 years ago, and I haven't touched it in probably at least 2.5. And actually I went looking for some parts, and all I could find was one half of the engine grill. So I gotta have another look. I'm pretty sure I've got a little box full of all the parts, but I moved recently and it's somewhere. I just want to take one quick look at this. This is really perfect stuff. The retrofit is going to be really easy, and it's going to turn this really static model into something with a lot of life. It's really easy. If you know how to solder, this is going to be nothing to you. If you've never soldered before, this is so easy that once you do it, you'll consider yourself a pro. The look is really phenomenal, and it is inaccurate as the Falcon itself is for MPC. You could do far worse. So basically I'm just going to peel the tape off the back, stick it down where it is with a little airbrushing before and after, and this is pretty much going to be all set. Here's what I really want to show you. So let me unplug this guy and get him out of the way, because we're actually going to take these 2 strips and use 3 of them in this engine bay, and I'll show you why. There's a look at the ship in the dark. All the lighting that I've done so far. That's the first strip of Modeler's brand smooth light double density LED tape I've ever used. And the light cast on that floor there is really nice. Up front along the arms there's a few different little fiber optics, and then this fluorescent green, and then this fluorescent white LED up here just to give it some life. It's a little greener in person. Over here is the LED that lights up the back hallway. And there's the other one. The landing gear has lots of fiber optic bits in it. The engines are going to be lit up with Modeler's brand regular double density LED tape. As you can see, it's just about possible to see all the way down the hallway. There's a single LED back there lighting everything up. Underneath, we've got a few lights going on. A couple of them aren't in place. All of the red is done, and there's a lot of that. This is not screen accurate. This was going around and having some fun. Little light leak in here I gotta paint away. And some crossed wires to fix. And here's what the underside looks like. put a little light on the situation. So this is below decks. Lots more fiber to do. This leads off to the cockpit. This leads down to the landing ramp, theoretically. However, the two levels do not match up. This is easily detachable with just 2 contact points into the lower hull. And there are 2 main buses for power. These 2 springs in here, and these 2 springs with the alligator clips around them there. On the interior top hull, there's 2 more springs under the engines right there, taped off for protection from painting. The top hull hasn't had anything done, though there are a few holes drilled. Flipping around, let's take a real quick look at the paint job on this so far. Starting here. I consider this exact area to be completely finished as far as the base color goes. When I get the rest of the body to that level, then I put the factory colors on, then I weather it down from there and just keep going. There's about 7 or 8 layers of paint on here, and it was really wet washes, mediums, darks, lights, black, white, silver, all intermittently, different amounts. I've got the formula written down in a book, so I'm not too worried. And then going around the rest of the hull, it's basically different layers, different amounts of the same amount of paint. It's different amounts of the same formula. So this is a little heavier up here, closer to finished. This section here is a little less than the engine deck. This section here is a little less than that. And then up here at the front mandible, there's just like 2 or 3 layers. It's probably like 2 layers of paint down here, 7 to 9 up here, and everything in between going there. So I want to get a lot of gray variety around here. I'm inspired to add a few greeblies to the engine deck here. I'm not going to get any aftermarket parts for this because it's so far along anyway. For the chest table, I want to do that in acrylic and project some fiber optics through there to give different colors. Custom over here is just some PVC pipe I got from the plumbing department at a local hardware shop. This is just a styrene sheet that cuts across and folds down to the floor. All the fiber optics that feed through the side here are for the green lights on the walls, which are white and Empire. So I am doing this as a New Hope version, basically. It's a hybrid. The inside is New Hope. The outside is Empire. Ish.